What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Chucky J from the B2BD podcast and 1/3 of the M2C Gaming podcast, coming at you with what I want to call my prediction for the most anticipated game of 2017, Mass Effect Andromeda. That's right, after all the teasing and screenshots, all the rumors, we finally get a release date of March 21st. You heard right, March 21st, greatness arrives to the next-gen consoles. This is something obviously that everybody's been waiting for. We had the teaser at E3. Everybody was very excited about it just from some of the screenshots and some of the little video we saw. From what we can see of this game so far, you can tell the graphics are going to be insane. All right, you know, next-gen consoles, I'm hoping for a lot of like detail in everything that I'm doing in terms of places that I'm visiting, details in certain certain environments. It's just, I cannot wait. So we get into the story. The story is set 600 years after the event of the first three Mass Effects, of course. This takes place in the Andromeda galaxy. And even though this is set after the events of the first three games, the journey for your character happens right after Mass Effect 2. So if it sounds weird, it is. And I hope they explain this a little bit better when we actually get, the game, because that's kind of off. You take control of either Scott or Sarah Ryder, and they're known as Pathfinders. So there's no more Spectres. They're known to be Pathfinders, and they're charged with actually finding new planets for the humans to colonize. So we don't know the effects of what happened after the Reavers came after Mass Effect 3. This could have somehow impacted the human race, in which case now we no longer are able to survive on Earth and we need to colonize other planets, move out, or this just could be just like how every other space odyssey is, where we as humans want to, venture further. So there are a lot of things that I do want to see from this game, mostly a No Man's Sky type exploration. I want to be able to do what No Man's Sky was attempting. Go out and venture into different areas and, other planets, and then find other life forms, encounter other adventures, kind of like side quests, but not just so linear, which we know that a lot of Mass Effect games are not. But I will hope with the power of the next-gen systems, we will be able to support this option. Another thing that I am looking for is the multiplayer to return. Mass Effect 3 gave us a great multiplayer, and where it added more to the campaign. It wasn't you just playing multiplayer to play multiplayer, and it wasn't something that was thrown in to satisfy fanboys who just act as if not having a multiplayer on a game doesn't warrant them to buy the game. It was actually a multiplayer that worked for you, and I'm all for that. So I definitely will hope that returns. I do also have a lot of hope for the DLC that comes out for this game. I know that the game is lengthy and there are plenty of, DLCs that could come out for it. Being spoiled a little bit here off of Witcher 3, which is an awesome game if you have not checked it out. But in Witcher 3, you got 6 DLC, 2 huge expansions after that. So the DLC was free. The first 6 were free, and they were just little side missions that gave you some extra gear, some extra, places to venture, extra weapons. But then those 2 huge expansions that came out basically gave you a whole new gaming experience. I mean, it was basically like you played an entirely new game, and the actual DLC was I'm not mistaken, it was the size of Witcher 2 in terms of the length of the game and how the expanse of it. So I really do hope that Mass Effect does something to that effect. And speaking of the DLC, we got a little bit informed of some stuff that was kind of like a double-edged sword for me, that Mass Effect will not have a season pass. So if this does happen to come out with the DLC, we don't see the season pass, it's gonna be one of those things where I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. The good is that maybe the game is just that massive that DLC is not needed, and any DLC that comes out for it could be just used to enhance it. So that means like you can get an extra weapon or maybe some gear or whatever that can help along with your campaign. The bad is that this is some form of a cash grab that EA and BioWare look. I remember when games just used to be games. There was no DLC, it was just a complete game. But now with the developers looking to add on to an existing project because of new ideas, I can understand, the need for season passes. But when you tell me that there is no season pass, now I start to worry. Because nonetheless, we will have to wait and see what pans out. But you believe that wow, this could be bad for the game because this could tell me that I'm gonna end up having to pay $9.99 for an additional gameplay that I want to get into on additional adventure. So I don't know, but either way it goes, we here. We have 67 days until the release of Mass Effect. Probably after this particular video, you're probably talking about 65 days. And I'm telling you, I can't be more excited. I'm very excited just to see where we're going to go with this, okay? So I want to thank you guys for viewing. If you like this video, definitely drop a like down and subscribe to the channel. Also, go ahead and check out a lot of our other actual ventures we have here at the B2BD podcast, such as In My Opinion podcast, the Ed Scott Report, Imperfect Geniuses, M2C Gaming, and the Horror View. For me, over here, Chucky J, I'll holler at you guys. Peace.